Now there's something that I have never done, and that is to leave a brisket untrimmed. You see, I'm always trimming my brisket, but we went to Walmart and they had a small little 9-pound brisket. And I thought this would be a perfect little experiment to just come in here and do an untrimmed brisket and see how that turns out. Because I personally do love to trim the brisket because I can utilize that cut of meat later on down the line, whether it be for just some sausage, some hamburgers, or anything like that. Well, not really sausage per se, but you know what I mean, like some beef sausages and stuff like that. But something that I wanted to try is not doing any sort of trimming. So the little like 9.5, almost 10-pound brisket that they had at Walmart, I figured, you know what, why not go ahead, come in here and see how this turns out. Now, this is a choice brisket from Walmart. I have not done a prime brisket, and I definitely want to try one of those out. And it's been a minute since I've had any brisket in this house, and I am, boy howdy, I am looking forward to having some brisket. That not only is it going to be kind of an experiment on untrimmed brisket, but also at my local Buc-ee's, I picked up some brisket seasoning and want to try that out and see how that is, because it kind of looks a little like lemon pepper with pepper and stuff. So I don't know exactly everything that is in here. Sea salt, spices, black pepper, chili powder, cumin. Also, it's turmeric that gives it that color. It's not lemon pepper. Dehydrated garlic, let's say a little bit of sugar, onion, cornstarch, and some natural flavoring. Okay, so it's the turmeric that kind of gives it that color. And I had this on a little bit of meat beforehand, some like burgers or something like that. I can't remember exactly. It's a little bit early in the day of me doing this, but I wanted to see how this tastes and see what kind of a bark this gives this brisket. Now look, normally I would cut off this entire little section right here just to make it a little bit more even, but we are not going to be cutting this up and trimming it up at all. Oh my God, the look on this is absolutely wonderful. Gives it a kind of like golden, you know what I mean? Gives it a kind of like golden sheen to this whole look, and I'm excited to see what this kind of turns into and what it looks like as far as the bark goes. Now, one thing I always say is to season up your meat, because briskets are a thick cut of meat, and it's going to take a lot to penetrate into that meat. But we're going to be letting this sit for about 4 to 6 hours. Actually, no, thinking about it, good Lord, no, I'm going to be letting this season, gosh, for about 12, yeah, right there at 12 hours, because looking at the time, I'm like, oh, no, yeah, this is going to be great. So, yeah, we're just going to come in here. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit more Worcestershire sauce and Worcestershire sauce on here. Now, when they had it at the factory, they did a nice little chip right there. It's not the prettiest. Oh, the dogs are going crazy. They hear Dad in the kitchen, and here comes Squirrely Dan running in the kitchen like, Dad, I hear you talking about meat. Let's go. You know, when you have animals, they're going to be running around going crazy, especially, you know, with cats on the back porch waking up being like, oh, hey, oh, it's early morning time. Let's go. A little bit of fun on Gassy's back porch. Trying not to make too much of a mess. I'll have to clean this up. Anytime you like get some seasoning, you're going to wind up like over seasoning on the sides and stuff like that. So just, if you have a partner, you know, be respectful, especially when they just got done, you know, cleaning the kitchen last night. Make sure not to make too much of a mess. And now my wife's in here coming to see her morning coffee, and oh, I'm getting stared at from the back, and you know, it's like that show Snapped. If I don't clean this kitchen. I don't know if you could hear, but she just said, But this is what she's looking like, and I'm excited to see how this turns out. And honestly, let's be real, I can't wait to get some caffeine because I'm doing all of this before it is time for caffeine. And you know, I just realized I had about 3/4 of this and now it's all gone. So if I like it, I'm definitely gonna have to get some more. And my wife already says I have too many seasonings. Now we've got the smoker up to temp, but I wanna show you something. We've got some sleepy kittens on the back porch and a sleepy mama kitty right here on the back stoop. I swear, the wife put these pillows out because we're not using them anymore. And I told her, I said, you're gonna spoil these cats. You know what I mean? Like, though, let's be real, I am going to spoil them as well because of the simple fact that, you know, I am in the process of looking at what sort of house I want to give them for the fall and the winter time, because it does get a little chilly down here in Georgia. But like I said, we've got the smoker up to 225 degrees now, and we're going to be putting this brisket in. We're going to be putting the point side towards where the flames are, though I'm not worried about the heat because now how they have the distribution going. Oh my Lanta. Oh hot dang. This thing is looking absolutely wonderful. We did not get a full absolute seasoning on every little piece like this right here, but that is perfectly a-okay. And look at this thing. It is looking absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to see how this turns out and how it tastes. But you know, the best part about a pellet smoker is the simple fact that I can set it, I can go to bed, and I don't have to worry about staying up all night with my meat, making sure that the pellet grill stays up to temp. But yeah, we'll check it out about 5, 7 o'clock in the morning when I wake up, see what the internal temp is, and go from there. Now, when we move out into the country, one thing that I am not going to be doing is putting my grill directly in the path of the sun coming up in the morning. So when I want to come outside and check on my meat, I don't get blinded by the light like I'm blinded by science. But let's check out this brisket. Now, for untrimmed, it is looking good, though I do notice that back here it is pooling where normally that is kind of tapered off, as well as this little bit right here that can get a little probably crispy and such. But other than that, it's absolutely looking good, and I can't wait to see what this turns out like. Let's see what this temp is. Let's go down a little bit. So we're about I'd say 159, 161. I didn't know how quick it was going to be dropping right there. Then let's go in right here, about 162, 160-ish. So we're about right there at the, most likely, it's probably time to wrap it. Because it's about 165-ish that I usually like to wrap it. And you can kind of feel how tough it is as you go in there with the probe. That's why you take the temperature up so much. But yeah, let's go ahead, wrap this brisket up, and we're gonna do the Goldie's method. So let's get that done, and then let's see if we can get out of the stall, because I think we're just about to be poking out of the stall. Now, before we wrap the brisket, I want to put down some Wagyu beef tallow. You can pick this stuff up at Amazon. You can go to Academy if you have one near you. You can pick this stuff up relatively easy, and it's something that you can use not only in smoking, but really in cooking, like frying anything up, because you got to think about it. It is just fat, but it is a good fat because it is a natural fat. So I just like to put a little bit down and then spread it out a little bit, just generally right here in the center. And that is where we're going to try to put the brisket at. Now, oh, this thing still looks good. Oh my God, this thing looks good. And I want to see, oh, it's not actually, it's crazy. I'm so used to like bigger briskets. So my brain is sitting here like, oh, it's light. It's such a light little, you know, brisket. But oh my God, this thing is looking amazing. I cannot wait to see what this tastes like. And now look, normally, right? Normally you'd be like, oh, I need to get that pooling off because it's gonna mess with the bark. So you see right here how I can kind of put like my finger and the seasoning, the bark doesn't really go anywhere. But right here, This is what we're talking about, because the bark will just go and it will not be able to set in that one spot, but that is perfectly fine. So now we've got it wrapped up with a little bit of beef tallow, and this is just going to help get that bark even more and help render that fat. But yeah, so now we just put this back on for the next few hours, get ready, have a little bit of fun in the wasteland sun with these heckin' alien invaders, and call it a day. Now we just temped the brisket, and y'all, it is time to pull this thing out. But I want to show you what she is looking like right now. It is looking absolutely wonderful. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up and let it rest for a few hours. But my Lanta, I cannot wait to get in here and cut up some slices. Now friends, the time has come to cut open this brisket and see how it is looking. Now we did have a little bit of the beef tallow spill out, but my Lanta, we still have a little bit in here. So as per normal, pour a little bit on this top. Oh my Lanta, it is smelling absolutely wonderful. And look at this thing, it is looking great. Now I do want to see what the untrimming did to this piece right here, because this is why you would normally trim this up, is because it definitely turns into more of a beef jerky, and it dries out a little bit there. But that is good. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't even mind that. I do not even mind that. Because I can just sit there and chew on that. But now let's take a gander at this. It's very, very juicy. My Lanta, look, not doing any type of work to this piece of meat other than just seasoning it up. Dude, oh my gosh, that is nuts to my brain. Because look, and here's another thing too about the fat, it did render down. So let's just go in here. I don't want to rip any of this, and this is kind of where the whole trimming bit goes in this regard, is because there is a little bit of hard pieces that we're having to go through that we normally would not have to go through. But as far as this goes, it's holding its shape, it flops down, pulls apart easy. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Hold on a second here. My God. That Buc-ee's brisket season. Dude, that's not bad. Do a little fat, a little bit of lean. Oh my God. I haven't even dipped it in the best part yet. Oh my God. That is absolutely wonderful. Okay. Now, let's get in here. Let me take a little corner off right here. I kind of want to see. Ooh, look at that. Look at that right there. My God, I can't wait to taste this. I cannot wait. Oh, let's just get in here. Let's cut a small little sliver off. The wife had asked me, she goes, Jason, is it time to go cut the brisket yet? Because it is smelling absolutely wonderful in the kitchen. And I was like, it's about that time. Give me about 10 to 15 more minutes. Oh my God. That is absolutely amazing. I love brisket. I am definitely going back and getting some of that Buc-ee's brisket seasoning. If you've got a Buc-ee's near you, or you can order it online or have a friend pick some up for you. Yeah, that is some good seasoning. But this pretty much lazy man's way of doing a brisket, just seasoning up just before you put it on the pellet grill, not trimming it up, just low effort brisket, a choice brisket from Walmart. Turned out absolutely amazing. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out. Seriously, thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace. Love you.